Welcome back to the channel. This is Andrew, running with Dr. Andrew, and today is another midweek training talk. Alright guys, I'd like to talk to you about what is the appropriate amount of mileage that you should be running during a marathon training block. I decided to talk about this because I am, in July, I'm going to start a training block, about a 16 week training block leading up to my marathon in November. And so what is the appropriate amount of mileage? How far, how many, what's the long runs that you should be running, what's the amount of mileage that you should be running. These are just kind of some articles I've read before. One article did take it was just a poll of marathon runners, and they polled the individuals who had injuries after the marathon and the ones that didn't have injuries. So the poll was about 38 miles and below per weekly mileage is what caused they had pain or injuries, and the individuals above that mileage mark did not have injuries. So I mean, you can definitely, some articles I've read that you can run as as less than 28 miles per week or so, which is pretty minimal. Giving some experience running about 7 to 8 marathons in my marathon career so far. Definitely, that would, for me, that would not be enough. I felt like I wouldn't be prepared. But definitely if you're adding in your tempo runs and things like that, and you're doing your long runs, I think that definitely you can get away with that. Or if you're just wanting to complete a marathon and doing like a walk jog type of marathon, I think that might be appropriate. And they also, a couple of articles said if you want to get a time below 4 hours running 50 miles and above is what you want to do to be able to complete that marathon in that particular time. And definitely those articles are, you're looking at specifics on the marathon. So I think definitely completing your tempo runs, intervals, speed work, and your long runs, I think those are all three very important recipe to make a successful marathon, mileage wise. And I think probably 50 miles, that might be appropriate enough. If you ran just 50 miles in your peak weeks of marathon training, that could be probably enough to get by with. And if you're wanting to get even faster with that, maybe even even a little bit more mileage. On my last marathon block, I ran my highest mileage was 77 miles, and I did a 16-week program. I think it was an 18-week program. So 18-week program, and finished the marathon in 3 hours and 39 minutes. So that's definitely very good time for me anyway. So I definitely beat my old time of 3 hours and 50 something minutes. So with me doing more mileage there. So it's all about, if you're doing a lot of mileage, a lot of slow paced miles, long easy miles, and then adding into your speed and work and your interval work and tempo runs. So definitely not every mile has to be fast. Definitely you're going to recipe for injury if you're doing that. So those are just my guesses. What do you guys do? What type of mileage do you run? And whenever you're training for a marathon, what's your top mileage? I'd like to know in the comments there. Again, my top mileage for my last marathon block was 77 miles. Most of it was because I wanted to do it because I was trying to break my record of how many miles I had ran before in a week. So it was more of a challenge thing rather than like, okay, this is going to help me up in the marathon. But I think it did. And, it was definitely built my aerobic engine, be able to get out there and run these miles out there. All right, guys, this completes this midweek training talk. This week I have completed 12 miles. And pretty hot outside, so definitely be careful out there. So everyone keep safe, keep running, and we'll see you next time.